Hello. Okay, so today we're going to turn the page and actually begin creating something, okay? And what we're going to be doing is making a cover for our sketchbooks, which we'll be using throughout the entire quarter. You'll be getting an assignment. I'll tell you more about this later, but you'll be getting a journal or a sketchbook assignment about every day, and it will amount to about half your grade. This is meant to be fun. It's going to give you lots of different experiences in drawing and art and things like that. It'll be different every day, and we'll try to make it as broad as possible so you can get a lot of different small art lessons in while you're in this room, okay? But yeah, I'll talk to you more about that later and how that will work. But for now, we're going to focus on making a cool cover. And we're going to do that by collaging today, okay? Here is an example that I've already made of the completed sketchbook cover. Same thing, it just has a totally completed cover, okay? So we're going to make these collages using a sheet of paper. That's what we'll be gluing all of our collage pieces onto, which we'll later attach to the sketchbook, right? We'll be gluing everything on the paper. We'll be taking cutouts from old magazines and books that you will have at your desks today, at your working tables. I have lots of these. They were filling up the entire storage space, so we should have lots of options there. I will also ask that you use some general construction paper, colored construction paper, so you can cut out shapes for that, come up with your own designs for that. And then we also have some old wallpaper, lots of this. It feels kind of funny because it's meant to be put on walls and stuff. It's not ordinary paper. But I ask that you use all of those materials, each of those three, the magazines, the construction paper, and the wallpaper, to make a design. As I've done here, I cut out a big head of someone from some fashion magazine, some cut out of some kids making some silly faces, and I left some in the magazine that I found it in, so if you find those, you can use them. And then I used the colored construction paper to make some sort of little, I don't know, some design thing. Maybe there's sticks coming out of the woman's hair, or maybe it's something like a halo. Anyway, I asked that you use all three to make some sort of design so that throughout this quarter you have a sketchbook that is unique and funny, or says something about you, or just looks interesting. And you'll notice that it's a little glossy. That's because once we're finished with these and we've glued it onto our sketchbook paper, we're just going to take strips of tape and run it down, tape it to the inside cover a little bit, just so it's a little more protected from coffee spills in my case, or dirt or whatever. It's just a little sturdier. So, yep, you will be able to see this and some other examples at the front of the room, and you'll have all of these supplies at your table, and we're just going to have a good time and create today. All right, so here I'm going to kind of give you a quick little demo about some how you might think about creating your cover. Sorry about the camera angle. I'm trying to make it so you can see my work as I make it, but it kind of requires me to make a weird angle on the laptop. But we'll make do. Okay, so first thing you might want to do is you want to check out some of the magazines that you have at your table. There's skateboarding magazines, Sports Illustrated magazines, dog magazines, all sorts of things. Just flip through them, and if you see something that interests you, just cut them out. You can do that beforehand, so you can just cut out, say you find a mouse in some science magazine, so just cut that out for now. Maybe it'll be useful to you. Maybe you can trade it with another artist in the room to get something else. I also found this big cutout of a man playing the trumpet. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm going to use that for this collage for sure. So I'm going to try to position it. So, well, I'll flip the video maybe. Just kind of position them. Think about where you might want to put them. as you're flipping through the magazines, just kind of flip through. You probably want some things that are big, some things that are small to fill the space in a nice way. Here I'm finding some skateboarding magazines, some guy in midair, kid in midair. So along with these other two things, maybe this person in midair will work. As you're cutting, try your best to really keep smooth edges. It's okay if there's a bit of an outline. It's all up to you how you want this to look, but sloppy, jagged lines sometimes don't look as nice as nice, smooth lines. And this is a skill that you build up. Maybe you're good at it, maybe it's something that you're still working on. But just, yeah, try your best to make a good craftsmanship job cutting it out. You saw me tear it out of the magazine. Sometimes it's good to just tear it out roughly and then cut it out so other artists can use the magazines at your table. And it's also easier to cut out if you get it out of the book first. So I'm just cutting. I actually kind of like the purple background on the page, so I'm not cutting all the way up to the arm and the edge of the arms and the pants and stuff, because I think the purple outline could look cool in the book cover. Just gonna quickly finish up. Cool. Okay. So now I have 3 things so far from the magazine, so that's cool. That's probably enough for me. I've got a trumpet, a little mouse friend for the trumpet guy, and then I'm thinking the skateboarder can be, I don't know, it could be either jumping over the mouse, that's kind of cool, I'm kind of into that, or it could be up top near the head of the man. That's also kind of cool. This is a good chance for you to just mess around with a bunch of things before you glue down different options. So that's what I'm going to stick with. First I'm going to glue down this big trumpet guy, and because I want to put the mouse on top of the trumpet, on the top layer, I'm going to have to move the mouse to the side, and I'm going to flip over and begin thinking about gluing this trumpet guy down. While you're gluing, you're probably going to have to glue all the way to the edges of your cutouts. So put the back side of what you're going to glue onto something other than the table, so you don't get the table all messy. Here's the deal about the glue. It's kind of cheap. I hope to buy some better glue in the future, but for now this is what we're kind of stuck with. So it's kind of crusty and chunky. Just try your best to deal with it and really just kind of fight it. Sometimes it might run up on the edge. I hope this is focusing. It might crunch and run up on the edge. At that point, just kind of turn it to its side and kind of twist it on and get it back on the paper. It's not a big deal if that happens, that's okay, just fold it back. Try not to be rough with your cutouts, you want them to end up looking nice once they get on your cover, but it's okay to kind of rough them up and get the glue on however you can. And if a few edges are sticking up and it's curling, that's going to be okay for this project, because you'll remember that we're going to end up taping down everything to the cover anyway, so that will smooth things over and help the glue keep everything down. But yeah, just quick, do a rough cut. See, it's all over on the edges. That's going to happen, so just kind of rub it on there, get it down. It might feel dry and kind of lousy compared to other glues, but that's what we have in this classroom right now, so let's just power through that. So this is going to be full of excess glue that we ran off the edge. Don't worry about that, just set it aside and keep using that for your glue as like a glue station. And let's set this down. Wipe it down. Make sure it's pushed down nicely. Oops. A chunk of glue broke through the paper there, but that's fine. Okay. And then we'll do the same for the mouse and for the skateboarder person, but I will save you the time. and not glue those down quite yet. But then, like I said, I want you to use magazine cutouts, and I want you to use two other materials. I want you to use some of the wallpaper at your table too. So for that, I will cut out my own shape. You know, there won't be obvious shapes here. This is a kind of like a flowery wallpaper. So actually, I might pick one of these flower designs, quickly cut it out. Collage, the idea about collage is that you can use all sorts of things to make a new image. It's kind of eco-friendly because you can reuse old stuff that would otherwise get thrown away. It's kind of a cool art form. Kind of. It is a cool art form. So yeah, wallpaper has, you know, different types of designs, and gives you a new opportunity to add stuff. I'm gonna put the wallpaper on top of the mouse head, just as kind of a weird little detail. Or maybe I'll just put it next to it, just a little next to it, kind of set it in. And you'll be able to see this example at the front of the room when it comes to time. And then finally, for the construction paper, I have an idea with it for this already. I'm just going to cut out some simple lines here, just a simple line, and then make it even a little thinner. And I'm just seeing this trumpet as part of the main part of this cover already, the trumpet player. So I'm going to just cut out some little strips, and then glue this down as if the sound is blatting out, and it's like a colorful little sign, or just a colorful sound coming out of the trumpet. And then I'll make sure that all of this is glued down so I can add it to my cover later, okay? Yeah, so that's about it, and you'll be able to see that at the front of the room again. And here's the one thing that I'm really asking you to do. I like to have a clean studio so everyone can kind of step in class after class and have the space that they need to work well. So this is a messy type of project. You're going to end up with lots of scraps. If it's unusable scraps, just crinkle it up and make sure it ends up in the wastebasket at the end of the hour. And if there's usable scraps, say while you were cutting things out you left something, maybe just stick it inside of the magazine for others to find. Stack up the books and put them in the box. Make sure the glue and the scissors are put back where you found them, okay? Let's have a good day. Yeah, enjoy.